Lake Cumberland's rock classic variety, Q97. Good afternoon. I'm the Z-Man. And as we've been speaking of for the last several days, on the phone, bassist, keyboardist, vocalist, producer, Mike Levine of Triumph. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, Z-Man, everything's just fine up here in the Great White North.
Man, it is so great to talk to you. And what an exciting next few days. You've got a brand new album coming out on the 18th. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a new greatest hits package. And all the songs have been what's called remixed in a technical term.
Right.
So that means going right back to the original 2-inch tapes and going, getting new sounds on the drums and the bass and the guitars and the vocals. And quite honestly, it was one of those things where I was very I had trepidation about it. I didn't know if it would work.
Right.
But it sure worked out great. Let me tell you, the sonic impression it makes is like unbelievable. Everything just sounds huge, like it was recorded yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really, really cool.
Well, there were probably limitations on the analog that you had parts that were there, but maybe buried so deep that they're really going to be present now. And tell us, are you going to have some new material on this as well?
There's one song that came out of the archives. It was a cover of the Nazareth tune, Love Hurts. And so that's the only new thing that's on there. And believe me, I searched the archives for anything good. That's the reason we didn't put some of that stuff out.
The Triumph fans, we don't care if it's good. If it's just something we haven't heard from you guys before. And also the cool thing about this, not only is it a CD, it also includes a DVD, right?
Yeah, the DVD is very cool. It's like a lot of the old promotion clips, and some live songs, from the US Festival and from some concert footage.
Wow.
There's a bootleg we stole off somebody that we put on a blinding light show. But it's really cool because we stretched them into 16:9 widescreen.
Right.
And so, because the old stuff was shot just for regular TV, and it was like boxy. It looks horrible on today's TV. So our video editor found a program that he could stretch it.
Wow. And
all the music's in 5.1, so it sounds great on it. If you got a nice surround system, turn it up, man. It's going to blow your head off.
Well, I think that's always great when you can do a little searching yourself and the artist find the audience recorded stuff and use that because, hey, that's the least they can do, right?
That's very true. If you can find something like that, and those days, that's because it's old. I think it was, there was no date on it, but it was either the late 70s or very early 80s.
Yeah.
So somebody snuck out, and the cameras back then were huge, right?
Oh, yeah.
There was no little cameers or cell phones.
Yeah, you looked kind of strange sneaking a 16 millimeter into a concert. Oh, man. Okay. Tell us just briefly how you, Mike, and Gil got together. Was it, 74, 75 when you first guys got together?
Yep. Yeah. We started out, it was kind of an idea more than anything.
Right.
Gil and I were playing in a weekend band together, and I was doing something entirely different, other than that. And I was just filling in for him. We had been friends for a long time, and he was in between bass players. He said, look, can you do me a favor and just fill in because another guy's starting in 3 weeks,
Right.
The other guy never showed up.
As fate would have it.
As fate would have it. Yeah. So I was having fun.
Right.
On the weekends and stuff, and, just, playing cover tunes. And I said to Gil, we were having a drink one day, and I said, why don't we do a real big thing? Let's try something, And so we said, okay, what's the ideal thing? Well, a 3-piece band. Okay, and we're going to have a big show, right? Yep, we're going to have a big show. We're going to use pyro, right? Yes, we're going to use pyro.
Yeah.
But we need a guitar player. So we went on the guitar player hunt. Mm-hmm. And after going through 3 or 4 guys and jamming with them, it wasn't working out very well. So we almost tabled the idea.
Right.
But an agent we knew said, hey, you got to go check out this guy, Rick Emmett. He's playing in a band called Act 3. They're playing at the Queensbury Arms on Saturday night or whatever. This is a bar in Toronto. We went and checked him out and went just, wow. He's if the guy... he certainly can play. Let's find out what kind of human being he is.
Right.
So we sat and had a chat, and then we got together, and Rick ended up, leaving his band and coming with us, and the rest kind of is history.
A huge explosion in the 80s with MTV. They'd pretty much put you guys in the laps, in the eyes and ears of people that may have not ever been exposed to your music. Lay it on the line, fight the good fight, magic power. That's what the lay people remember Triumph for. But I challenge everyone to go back and buy the back catalog catalog or buy this new CD coming out on the 18th and either rediscover or discover Triumph, because you guys got some amazing music.
Yeah, it's I think that this package is really a good cross section of our career.
Mm-hmm.
And it's certainly, we had that Greatest Hits album out before the classics.
Right.
That came out in 1989, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a record company contractual commitment record where they just threw it together and we had no input into it. And, there's no packaging. I mean, that's the other thing. This new package got a really beautiful 20-page color booklet with liner notes and lyrics and, vintage photos and stuff. So that's one of the coolest parts of it too.
Inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, Juno Award winners. What's next for Triumph? Just hold it together?
Well, what's really neat is that, the three of us are back together. We had issues for many years.
That's what I was going to say. Take us back to June of 2008 when you guys did the big reunion thing at the Sweden Rock Festival. I mean, that blew so many minds. Were you guys at all afraid that you wouldn't be accepted? I mean, did you have any idea that people were so hungry for you guys, the original guys, getting back together?
We did have an idea, but we thought, well, let's go over to Sweden to do it because no one is going to care.
No offense to our Swedish listeners.
Definitely no offense. But, we really weren't, obviously we weren't thinking well. Like in today's world, everybody knows about everything immediately.
You will go home and find out from friends what you did earlier that day.
That's exactly right. So we were kind of in shock. The promoter called and said, the average media access request that we get for this festival, and they've been doing that festival for 20 years or something. It's a long-standing festival. It was maybe 250 accreditations. He was up to, 3 weeks before the festival started, he was up to over 900 requests.
Wow.
And he said, it's just because of you guys. Everybody wants to see and talk and do whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So that was kind of shocking. We went, wow, we better get back into rehearsal and
knock the rust off.
Knock more rust off.
Yeah.
But it was a struggle at first, to be honest with you, because you're playing on rented gear and no sound check, and it's a big stage, and the monitors were horrible, and Gil's drums were moving all over the place. His microphone was bouncing around and knocking him in the teeth.
Yeah, it was kind of like starting over from the beginning.
Yeah, it might as well have been some little bar somewhere,
right.
Except that, unfortunately it was in front of 40,000 people.
That would be a big difference, yeah.
But we finally found a groove. We got used to it, without hearing ourselves, and we found good places on stage where we could hear the drums. Right. But it was a good time. We had a great time together. We traveled well together. We laughed a lot, and we played together, and it worked.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and we're really looking forward to Triumph's Greatest Hits Remixed coming out on the 18th. It's a CD and DVD package, 2-disc set. Mike Levine, thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks, man. It was great speaking to you, and love to everybody in Kentucky, huh?